Wrestling fans, welcome back to Suplex Saga, the battleground where we don't just tell stories, we tear into them like a barbed wire steel cage match. And today's saga is one for the history books. This isn't just another chapter in WWE's ongoing war for supremacy, this is a psychological thriller, a power play so intricate and savage that only one man could be sitting at the center of it all, pulling strings like a puppet master with blood on his hands, Paul Heyman. Known for building legacies and destroying them in the same breath, Heyman has once again unleashed chaos in the most calculated, jaw-dropping way possible. With Seth Rollins, the visionary, the five-time world champion, and current holder of the 2025 Money in the Bank contract, now sidelined with a devastating knee injury, the entire WWE universe has been thrown into a vortex of uncertainty. But where most see a setback, Paul Heyman sees a golden opportunity. And he's wasting no time executing a plan that could rewrite everything heading into SummerSlam and beyond. According to CBS Sports and other outlets, Rollins went down hard on July 12, 2025, at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. In the middle of an emotionally charged grudge match against LA Knight, Rollins attempted a risky springboard moonsault, miscalculated the landing, and immediately clutched his right knee in agony. The crowd hushed, the momentum died, and concern swept over the arena. Rollins, a veteran of multiple knee injuries throughout his storied career, limped his way through the final moments before Knight capitalized with a BFT and sealed the win. Medical staff rushed to his aid, and he was escorted backstage, leaving fans and officials alike fearing the worst. Though further tests are still pending, Rollins himself admitted in a brief post-match interview that the injury didn't feel right, and insiders now believe he could be out for several weeks, if not months. But the real story isn't just the injury. It's what Paul Heyman plans to do with it. This moment of weakness is where Heyman thrives. A man who once turned Brock Lesnar into a world-breaking beast, who manipulated CM Punk into the voice of the voiceless, and who weaponized Roman Reigns' heritage into a near three-year reign of terror, Heyman is once again scripting history with a pen dipped in betrayal and ambition. Just days after Rollins was helped to the back, Heyman delivered a cryptic promo on Raw that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. He dismissed the injury's relevance, smugly reminding the crowd that Rollins still had until June 2026 to cash in his MITB contract, but hinted, ever so slightly, that Rollins might not be the one to do it. Then, on July 25, he doubled down, claiming that Rollins was perfecting Plan B from a jet flying over New Jersey. That statement detonated speculation across Reddit, Twitter, now X, and every major wrestling outlet. Could Paul Heyman actually be planning to transfer the briefcase to someone else? Is Rollins about to be replaced? And if so, who could possibly fill those boots? To answer that, we need to revisit how this faction even came to exist. It all started at WrestleMania 41 on April 19, 2025, during a historic triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman walked Punk to the ring, ostensibly as his advocate, but when it mattered most, Heyman betrayed both Punk and Reigns, throwing a steel chair to Rollins and helping him secure the win. That moment was more than a betrayal, it was a declaration of war. On the Raw that followed, Heyman stood beside Rollins and revealed their alliance to the world, bringing in the then Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker to demolish Punk and Reigns in the show's final segment. By May 24, at another Saturday night's main event, Bronson Reed, once thought to be lost in the shuffle, returned to join the faction. It was official. Rollins, Breaker, and Reed were the new apex predators of WWE, and Paul Heyman was their oracle. Heyman declared on the July 7 Raw that this group wasn't a reboot of Evolution or a nod to the Dangerous Alliance, it was something entirely different. And to prove it, Rollins won the Money in the Bank ladder match on June 7, outlasting 6 elite competitors in one of the most brutal matches of the year. With interference from Breaker and Reed, Rollins stood tall with the briefcase in hand, the faction's dominance seemingly unshakable. But then came the injury. And now, with Rollins' future uncertain, Heyman is faced with a dilemma: sit on the briefcase and risk the group losing momentum, or act swiftly, coldly, and ruthlessly, as only he can. Enter the rumor of the mysterious new member. Reports are swirling, leaks are multiplying, and Heyman's history of betrayals makes one thing very clear: no one is safe. Names have begun to surface, some with more credibility than others. Ricky Saints, the charismatic NXT North American champion, recently dropped his title and is reportedly heading to the main roster. Known for his presence, agility, and ability to draw heat with a single promo, Saints fits the mold Heyman often looks for: gifted, cocky, and corruptible. Then there's Carmelo Hayes, whose main roster run since the 2024 draft has failed to ignite. Pairing him with Heyman could be the rocket fuel he needs to explode into the title picture. Ethan Page, the current NXT champion, is another top candidate, respected on the mic, smart in the ring, and reportedly high on WWE's priority list. Trick Williams has also been named as a potential breakout star, a dynamic performer whose style and swagger could bring new energy to the group. But perhaps the most shocking rumor of all involves none other than The Rock. Some online threads have speculated that The Rock has been involved in this faction since Elimination Chamber 2025, pulling strings from the shadows to orchestrate a new kind of legacy faction. While unlikely to be the briefcase holder, his involvement could elevate the storyline from elite to legendary. So what happens next? If Heyman does transfer the briefcase, WWE will enter unprecedented territory. The new holder could cash in at SummerSlam, where Gunther is set to defend the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. A mid-match or post-match cash-in would steal Punk's moment and bring the story full circle from WrestleMania, where Heyman first betrayed him. It would be an act of pure storytelling cruelty, exactly what Heyman excels at. Meanwhile, Breakker and Reed are expected to battle Jey Uso and Sami Zayn in a heated tag match. But the real story is that briefcase, and whether Rollins ever touches it again. Will Rollins return for vengeance? Will he turn on Heyman and attempt to destroy the very faction he helped build? Or will he fade into the shadows while Heyman's new creation rises in his place? Social media is on fire. One user tweeted, "If Heyman gives away the briefcase, that's not just a twist, it's Shakespearean betrayal." Another wrote, "Ricky Saints cashing in at SummerSlam would break the internet." Reddit threads have exploded with theories, screenshots, and side-by-side comparisons of past betrayals, while others question whether the injury is even real, or a brilliant setup by Heyman and Rollins themselves. At the heart of it all is Paul Heyman, calmly playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. He's building not just a storyline, but a legacy of deception, ambition, and ruthless genius. Rollins may be injured, but the faction isn't wounded, it's evolving. And if Heyman's track record tells us anything, the next move will be his most devastating yet. So, wrestling fam, the war has only just begun. We've decoded the betrayal, traced the formation, analyzed the potential recruits, and unraveled the MITB controversy. But the question remains, who will step into the fire? Who will Heyman anoint as the new face of dominance? Is it Ricky Saints, Carmelo Hayes, Ethan Page, Trick Williams, or someone no one has even thought of yet? And when Rollins returns, because we know he will he stand with the faction he helped build, or burn it to the ground? Leave your predictions in the comments. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell. Because here at Suplex Saga, we don't just follow the story, we tear it apart and expose the genius behind the madness. Heyman's plan is only beginning. The pieces are moving, the betrayal is inevitable, and the reckoning will be legendary.